the chaplain. Can't start without the chaplain.
Your own special chair?
Yeah, take your time. Wait. Relax. 45. We got the golf rag.
Now we got one board.
No, I don't know what's that.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Tell Lucy Powell?
It's over there.
I am a little bit.
Meeting will come to order. Our request, hands please. 2. Uncover, please, and the chaplain would offer a prayer.
Almighty God, Father of all mankind and Judge over nations, we pray thee to guide our work in this meeting and in all our days. Send thy peace to our nation and to all nations. Hasten the fulfillment of thy promise of peace that shall have no end. We pray for those who serve the people and guard the public welfare, that by their blessing they may be enabled to discharge their duties honestly and well. We pray for our comrades, that by thy help they may observe the strictest justice, keep alight the fires of freedom, strive earnestly for the spirit of democracy, and preserve untarnished our loyalty to our country and to thee. Finally, O God of mercy, we ask thy blessing and comfort for those comrades who are suffering mental and physical disability. Cheer them and bring them the blessings of health and happiness. Amen.
Amen. Please follow me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
I call your attention to the empty chair now placed in all official meetings of the American Legion, which serves as a symbol of the many American POW MIA still unaccounted for from wars and conflicts involving the United States of America. It is a reminder for all of us to spare no effort to secure the release of any American prisoners from captivity, the repatriation of the remains of those who died bravely in the defense of liberty, and a full accounting of those missing. Let us rededicate ourselves to this vital endeavor. Will the Master at Arms please place the flag on the empty chair? Cover. Please don't forget ours is over there, not this one. Please recite the preamble to the Constitution of the American Legion. For God and country, we associate ourselves together for following purposes. To uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. Maintain law and order. Author perpetuate 100%. Preserve memories, instances of our association in all wars. Inculcate a sense of individual obligation to the unity, state, and nation. To combat the hypocrisy of both classes and masses. To make right passes to life. To safeguard transcend posterity. The principles of justice, freedom, and democracy. To combat corruption. From motion to 12. Now declare the meeting of the Morris County Committee, Department of New Jersey, regularly convened. Make a motion. Good evening. Adjutant, can you conduct a roll call of officers, please?
Commander Marciano,
Here.
EDC Kramer. Here. Finance Officer James Bolte.
Here.
Vice Commander Bergen excused. Vice Commander Sabal. Here. Vice Commander Michaels.
Here.
Vice Commander Akhmetov.
Here.
Vice Commander Connors is here. Appointed officers, Adjutant Connors is here. Master at Arms is excused. Service Officer Diosis.
Excused.
Excused.
Yes.
Judge Advocate Howell Libertor.
Yeah.
Historian Dennis Pepora.
Here.
Chaplain is here. Posts.
Adjutant, please conduct a roll call of the posts.
Post 27. Post 27. Post 43.
2.
That's gotta be a first.
It used to be more than that. We used to bring a lot of people.
Post 59. 3. Post 91. Post 91. Post 154.
1.
Post 155. 155. Post 242. Post 242. Post 245.
2.
Say again.
2.
Did you say 3?
2.
Post 249.
2.
Post 279.
2.
Post 342.
1.
Post 344. 4. Post 390. 1. Post 421. 421. Post 423.
6.
Post 450.
2.
Post 312. We have a quorum of the post, sir.
Thank you, sir. So the minutes, you may have noticed you didn't get them. I thank the adjutant for getting them done last night and sending them to me, as he just informed me, and I looked. I did not send them out. So I will make a motion to, we will move and I will send out the minutes and we'll re-vote on next month.
I'll waive the reading of the minutes.
Thank you, waives the word I was looking for. Second,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? My apologies to the department.
You're getting short.
Is that the people all the way in the back? That's the people. DEC, do we have any guests, sir?
Yes, sir. We do have a guest. We have from Congressman Charles' office, Congressman Charles' office. We have Willie Tolbert.
Thanks, Willie. How are you tonight?
Doing great. Thank you guys so much for having me today. I just wanted to swing by. I think a bunch of you may know me, but I'll introduce myself anyway because some of you may not. My name is Willie. So I worked for Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. I've worked for her for 6 years, so almost from when she was first took office. So what I do, most of my job, like I said, I work here in the district. I do constituent service for folks, and I'll talk about a couple of those. But just a little other background about me. I'm actually I'm from here. I'm from this town. Went to high school here. Elementary through high school here. I was in the Navy. I'm on active duty for about 9 years. I was a submariner. I'm still in the Navy Reserve, so I'm still doing that until I get 20 good years, and then I can wrap up doing that. And then, like I said, I work for her doing constituent service. But I did ask our legislative folks in DC, who I work with all the time, to just give me a quick, little legislative rundown of military veterans related legislative items that they're working on. So I just go over that real quick with everyone. So things that the Congresswoman's worked on in DC recently, there's a Military Spouse Hiring Act that creates a tax incentive to include military spouses in hiring decisions with businesses. There is a bill that helps recapitalize the Air National Guard's aircraft. That's something I think is very specifically that the New Jersey Air National Guard has been working with our office on, since it's a big part of their mission, I think, is like the tanker mission and also the fighter mission in Atlantic City. So that's something that they've been working with them on. What was that? Sorry. Is there something?
No, I just.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, sorry. Gotcha.
I just said they're still flying F-16s down at the Jersey Devils
Yes.
down in Atlantic City.
Yep. And I think the tankers, what was it, KC-135? Yeah, those have been around for a minute, but they still work, right? If it ain't broke. So, a resolution recognizing the 250th anniversary of the Marine Corps. You know, can you believe 250 years? It goes by so quick, right?
What about the Army? It's their birthday first.
Is it they're a little older though, right? Is it the 250th? Did that? Oh, well, anyhow.
That's it.
Yeah, all right. I think maybe the Marines are just more aggressive in asking for
They
it, so
are
that's why it's on this
more
list,
aggressive.
right? We have a bunch of Marines in this room, of course we do.
They like crayon books.
Well,
They could defend.
yeah, right. And then obviously co-sponsored a bill that kind of helps eliminate PFAS, which is like a plastic contaminant from the Department of Defense's waste stream. So I think it's going to create a study because it has some impact, right? And obviously it's a thing you have to phase in over time. But that's some of the legislative stuff. One thing I would like to say is if you see something or hear something, some of the best ideas for bills we propose come from being out in the community, people saying, this is a dumb thing I've run into. Is there something we can do about it? Sometimes there is, right? Sometimes those are the best ideas. So please feel free to get my card if you don't have it. I always want to hear those. I'm just going to give some examples of stuff that I've helped people with on the constituent service side. So I like to think of ourselves in the district office as we are the helpline for the entire federal government, pretty much, right? People call us all day, every day, because they're having trouble with the federal agency. Things I specialize in are going to be military VA, but we all do a bit of everything. So some examples of stuff that I've helped with recently. There was a National Guard soldier who he was using the GI Bill to go to school, then he got activated, so he got double paid BAH for a couple months and it created a pretty big debt. That debt hung around for a bit. He was in financial hardship. He was supporting his mother. There was a lot going on. The money was gone. So he's stressed out. I worked with him hand in hand. We put in the request for a debt waiver with the VA. And after a long process, they did agree to waive it, right? So that, helped him out. Like another example, right? Another kind of GI Bill situation. There was like a special forces veteran, maybe a little bit younger than me, right? He was trying to use the Chapter 31 benefit, the voc rehab, but it was going back and forth with his counselor. I don't know, something between them, it just wasn't connecting. And he was getting really stressed out. Also, he's rated for PTSD, which is the disability. Was able to work with the regional office in Newark, worked with the supervisor there, worked with him, worked with the supervisor. We got the connection. And then after a bunch of back and forth, he got granted the benefit. He's now in a music program. He's in a much better place now. So it's like little stuff like that, where there's something kind of wrong in the system. We can check in with the agency. We can try to help, right? And not just military VA. IRS is a big one. Obviously, tax day is coming up soon, right? So we're reaching out all the time for people with IRS issues, Social Security, Medicare, civilian federal pensions, if anyone's a civilian annuitant, maybe. Postal, I also do postal. It's actually unbelievable, right? How much postal stuff people bring in, and then also passports. It's something people don't know about, right? You guys would not believe the number of people who have booked huge international travel and they forgot to check theirs or their kids' passports, and now it's like 2 days out.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, sure, I agree. It is on them, but sometimes we can help, right? If you do reach out to us, we will reach out to the New York, Philly, or Connecticut passport centers, and we will try to get you a same-day appointment. Can't always do it, but we can do it a lot of times, right? So you can call us and we can try, right? So that's an example of stuff. So anyhow, that's kind of the pitch. Like I said, the reason I've done this for so long is I just love working with the public, love trying to help people. And if there's anything we can do, I'll stick around, just come and grab my card, and we're always looking to help you or your members. Yes.
Thank you. Well, I'd like you to tell all the posts that you're also a resource for the federal medals and dicta from war veterans.
Yes, that's a thing. We do have, I think I have a stock of the the Vietnam veteran pins and the survivor pins. If anyone would like those, reach out to me. I can get you those. But also, that is a kind of case where people will reach out. Oh, DD214s. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at the top. All the time, people are coming because they either need their DD214 or, in the more tragic one, I'll have a surviving spouse or kids come because the veteran died recently and they're trying to get the funeral honors in a hurry. I will say the National Archives is very good. If it is a funeral honors case, they do everything they can to move heaven and earth to make it happen. Usually they can, not always. They try, right? But feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help someone get a DD214, especially if that's what's between them and getting a benefit, right? We reach right out to the director's office in St. Louis and they expedite them. Great. Any other questions? Happy to take them. I'll stick around if you need anything. Feel free to come grab a card. But thank you guys so much for the time and so much for having me.
Well,
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Just put this in a Legion perspective. And that's before Willie was on the job, when the prior congressman, but to set the stage so you know that this is possible. When he says help with the IRS, it's not just to you personally, but this post that we're standing in right now, some of the old timers will remember this. We were essentially bankrupt and the IRS levied a bill of $4,000 for not putting in proper paperwork in 1990. And we appealed and we appealed and we begged for forgiveness and we begged for them to mercy. We said, please don't charge us this. We don't have the money. We're bankrupt. And nothing happened until Willie's predecessor stepped in and all of a sudden they waived the penalty, which would have wiped this post out. I know these guys know what I'm talking about. They remember this. We were very, very fortunate. And this is the kind of thing that we're very lucky to have constituent service here in the district. Because this was a lifeline, like I said, for this post, which has done many good things. Sorry? I took over and discovered it. Thank you very much. I discovered it, as you know, Russ. Yeah, it can be a hard time. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Funny, they wouldn't let me stop you. That's awesome.
Willie, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Officer reports. TC Kramer, do you have a report, sir? You can edit that.
Well,
Guys are dying.
I'll save the nominations, officer nominations for later, under new business, I believe.
Hear that or committee report. You know, we're have a committee, whatever you'd like.
It's under new business.
Okay.
Boy State continues. Please get your stuff done. If your post hasn't paid, please pay. I've interviewed, I think, 5 today. That makes 19 boys I've interviewed. 14 for post 43 and 5 for the county, which paid for 4, but I've interviewed 5 already. I'll find a way to pay for the extra.
I hope so.
Not asking you to pay.
You can bring it up on the floor.
Maybe I will. But anyhow, get your Boy State stuff in. If your post hasn't paid, please pay. But get your interviews done. It's approaching. And if you have any questions, how to process it, let me know. And next year I will give everyone something that I developed, which was who here is actually doing Boy State interviews? Okay. You know how you have to tell them exactly what they have to do? I made a checklist. Sure. I made an instruction sheet. It's half a page. Do this, then do this, then do this. So it's kind of dumb, but no, I didn't see anybody's not done it before, so I did it. And it worked. It made it a lot easier. So I didn't have to keep saying the same thing over and over again. Howard's got to stand up first.
Do we have a date for the orientation?
Yes, orientation. And it's on the website already. Boys, look. But it's going to be June 1st at post 27, 7 p.m. Sunday night. As always, ours is the last orientation of the year. The other counties tend to go first. We we'll always do ours. We're the last ones. Yes, sir.
I was just gonna ask you, what post was that? Is that Dover?
Yeah, Dover, post 27. It's our preferred location for a lot of reasons.
The date?
June 1st.
June 1st.
Thank you. As an interviewer, I am so impressed by the quality of the kids that we're interviewing. You know, you hear all this negative stuff about the education that our children are receiving in school. We got 7 really bright, energetic individuals that to be proud of. And it just warms my heart to go through this process.
It's absolutely correct. Year after year, I'm happy with the kids that we send. And just so you know, I mean, I don't want to betray confidences, but if you're in Assemblyman Dunn's district, her son went last year. Congressman Sherrill's son went last year. Congresswoman Sherrill. She was at the day that we brought her, but she didn't come for graduation. But yeah, this is really good kids and you know, people that are in the arena, like Ora Dunn, like et cetera, they believe in the program as well. Okay, we really do get good kids, and Morris County has sent very good ones for years. So that's what's up with Boys State. Please continue. Get in touch with me if there's a problem.
I just thought, are they still doing the, what do we want to call it, orientation that Monday for Legion members? Or
Yes, there will be tours. The best person to talk to is Tammy. She arranges it, but it'll be, if you plan on being down there about 9 a.m. on Monday, so the day after Father's Day, you're going to be in the ballpark. Okay, but talk to Tammy for specifics. If you want to take a tour of Boys State and learn about it and see what they're doing, it's worthwhile. That's brought to mind another question, another point. Oh, if your post pays for slots and then you have kids back out, please get in touch with me. Some of you already know this. Elmer knows it. We've exchanged people before, but I already have a request out of Whippany. They've got one more than they pay for. So I already have a request, somebody that would like to use an unused slot. And I know that 249 probably is looking for some slots. And so are a few other people. Please, so if you end up with extras, you know, for kids that back out, please let me know and I will get them out to the right people.
Will, who's the best person to talk to regionally about the administration of Girls State? I don't think it's you, but
Fran Darren.
is it Fran?
Okay. Talk to me privately.
Okay.
We need to talk. It's not something I'm allowed to really talk about, but we'll talk. I won't talk publicly about it. So, subject to your questions, Legion College in 2 weeks. I know that Peanut Gallery here is planning to go. I don't know if anybody else is planning to go, but Legion College is always a good time.
Those two over here.
I'll be there. I always have a good time. And then I'll slide from Boys State, right from Legion College, right to Congressman Sherrill's Academy Day in Fairfield. Subject to your questions, that's it for me for now. No questions, Russ?
Back to that finance officer.
Can't see him all the way back. Thank you, Will. Vice Commanders, Vice Commander Michaels, do you have a report, sir?
Sir. I'd just like to report that officially post 421 is closed. Tricia Grunwald, our department, has notified me that all their members have now been officially transferred to post 155. I just need to get a hold of Herman Marmon and verify that he has closed out their bank account.
He was
Difficult to get
supposed to turn over those funds to the town. The only other thing I have is, anybody here from Post 91? No? The coloring contest that they had submitted, apparently they did not win. So they mailed me back the, application that they had sent forward. And that's my report.
Thank you, sir. Vice Commander Norris, do you have a report, sir?
Yes, sir. I have two things on my agenda. The first thing is that we are now posted in the Morris County Chamber of Commerce National and County Directory for 24-25. And we're also involved quarterly as a promotional entity inside their Edge account. We carry a half-page ad to promote us. We're the only veterans organization in the Chamber of Commerce, and we participate in 3 of the main committees: the business development, the nonprofit, and the government affairs. So I will be submitting a voucher for that going forward, but we're involved in a big way with the chamber, and that's only part of our activity. Dominic will also speak, Dominic Sable, the Vice Commander, will speak about the small part that we're playing with the Wi-Fi network that we've been working with the county. That's getting started. And if any of the posts that haven't notified us or notified us that they would like to connect into the Wi-Fi network, we'll be reaching out again to connect everybody slowly but surely over the next 3 or 4 months. And with that, we will have our own internal network of meetings and activity that we can do by Zoom, so that anybody in any post that participates that wants to have a training session, a meeting session, a group discussion, that'll be made possible through the Cablevision right now in our area in Morris County. As far as any of the other activity, we're just holding our own, working with the county. We'll be visiting the county to see how the vet center is getting along. I'll also be making probably a request to us as a group to assist them with small things that they might need, because they're just getting started. They're bringing in students. They have 85 students at the college, and there's about 150 auxiliary outside close friends that participate with them. But the vet center is open. It's a place that they are bringing people in. With that, I want to tell you that in the last year, April of last year, we opened up the VA vet center at the CBOC on the 3rd floor. We were given 1 counselor, 1 table, and we were told, get new business. Well, business has increased 50%. We're now looking for the 2nd counselor along with the college, but it's up to us to find the candidates that need the help, because nobody's going to go volunteer and say, I need help. We have to find them, we have to bring them there, and we have to help them. So I extend the invitation again for all of us to get back involved. We're talking about be the one. Well, here we are. We got to find the one so that we can help them out. And that's going to be through the college, through the vet center. I know it's not easy, and I know it's something that nobody wants to do, but we have to continue to march, because we're going to be building the vet center as a Morris County regional entity. We're no longer just Morris County, Morristown, Wharton. We are the outpost of the Northwest. Consider us the brigade headquarters of Northwest Jersey. And we have to do this ourselves. Nobody's going to do it for us. It took us a lot of work and effort, thanks to Willie, the councilman, Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. They made it possible by putting it on the agenda last year because of the commander's visit here to Morristown. And because of that, we have skills that nobody else can match, because it was done in 7 months. Between June September and April, this undersecretary of the VA came and opened up our store. So now we gotta fill the members, and I thank you,
Good job.
thank you.
Thank you, Norris.
You're welcome.
Vice Commissioner Sable, do you have a report, sir?
Yes. Just to add something, first of all, to add something to what Nora said, if you have people that need help, you have to call the vet center in what is it?
At the
Bloomfield.
CPOP, yeah, in Bloomfield.
The vet center in Bloomfield, and they'll schedule an appointment for that individual. Okay, so that's how you get them into the system there. So you call up the vet center and they will, take it from there. All right, the next thing I have to say, 242 is not here, but they invited Norris and I to Cedar Crest on Route 23. All, there was maybe 40, 50 veterans there that wanted to join our post 242. And we answered a bunch of questions for them as to what to do with the VA and how to get involved. So we got a whole new group of old timers. Some of them are 100 years old and they had questions. So we stood there and we answered all their questions. And now the next thing, which
Did you
is
speak
very,
into the mic?
pardon?
Did you speak into the mic?
Oh, hell yeah.
Anybody who's been there knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, the last thing that I have to say is on the 27th of this month, it's a Sunday at 11 o'clock in Homedale, New Jersey, at the Veterans Wall in Homedale. We are putting my close friend, Alan Katz, who I played in Sandbox with him. I go back that far, to kindergarten. And he was killed when I was in country. But his name was never put on the wall because his parents moved to California. So he was sent to California. But being a New Jersey boy, right, we got it. My friend Tony and I, we went through the whole process, which is unbelievable, But on the 27th at 11 o'clock, we are having it done. We got, dignitaries. We're going to be on News 12. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. So if somebody has that time available, it's going to be our honor to put the man's name on the wall. That's a pretty big thing to me. Okay. Now I thank you, and sir.
Thank you, John. We appreciate it. And I think there's a flyer for that event, is there not?
Pardon?
There's a flyer for the event at the wall. I saw it on
you guys are
Facebook.
on Facebook, right?
Okay,
Oh yeah, I
I saw it out there.
more
Okay,
between now and then.
we'll keep pushing it out. Thank you.
What's the date?
27.
May 27th,
No.
What? April 27th, sorry.
It's the Sunday of the school.
You gotta speak into the microphone.
Shut up. You got it.
Vice Commander Connors, do you have a report, sir?
Yes, sir. Post 312, I've had no contact with, the Morristown Post. And,
Kind of faded off after.
I'm sorry,
They kind of faded off after Commander Cousins passed.
we need to make up our minds what we're gonna do with that post. They don't have a building anymore, my understanding. They currently don't have a commander. There's nobody answering for the post. I think the county has to make some sort of a decision in what direction we're going to go on that, whether it's the termination of the post itself, the cancellation of the charter, and the transfer of the existing members to another post.
I believe they still have the building.
But it's.
They still have it. It's dilapidated. It's been flooded. The basement's flooded, but there is a building in.
Do they have a certificate of occupancy even? I mean, is it?
I don't think so, but it's
It-
land in Morristown.
Yeah, and it's in a industrial location, I believe. Yes, I haven't been.
It's a residential area.
It's residential.
Mixed use.
Do you know if they still have a bank account?
I do
They
not.
owe us $3,000.
I haven't been able to ascertain that because nobody's responding to any of our inquiries.
Well, just letting you know that they do owe the county $3,000 from the $5,000 that we loaned them. And I have all the records on that. So if there is any money there, It would be up to the county to try and get the money back from.
I have a contact, I've seen, he came to a couple of meetings, John Thomas, I did.
But he hasn't been here since.
No.
They're not returning any of the phone calls I've made. I think we have to develop some sort of guidance as to how we're gonna proceed.
Think investigate, if we can find out there's a bank account, we know where the building is. Worst case, we go to Morristown and find out who has the deed and whatnot.
I believe they own that building outright.
Thoughts?
May I suggest that in addition to your phone call, you send them a letter, doesn't have to be certified or anything else. When you send a letter underneath your return address, your address, put address correction requested. And if someone else is getting the mail, you will get notified of that address. Probably cost you 35 cents, but
Well, the stamps go up, I believe, tomorrow.
78 cents.
I'll give you $1.
That's all I have to report, sir. Oh, one other thing, I don't know if other posts who are sending representatives to, Legion College had some of the problems that we did, but a couple of our, candidates to go to classes had their applications kicked back because the classes, were either overbooked or what have you, but at least two of our members, the money was returned. But two of our members wanted to take the advanced course and a couple of other courses were denied entry into those courses because they were overly filled. My understanding, the basic course is the largest single course head count wise. And these other courses, some of them have as few as 15 students. And once those 15 slots are allocated, anybody who comes along, they miss it by so much as 30 seconds, they're going to be locked out. So, again, we had two people who were actively interested, have previously completed the basic course, were interested in attending these other courses and were locked out because the head count for those two particular classes was so small.
I believe at this time, basic and the SAL course have vacancies at the moment. I think we saw an email about
Yeah.
that. But it would probably not be a bad idea to make a call in case there have been cancellations. I would call down to Trenton and ask.
Well, I asked Tammy about that,
Okay,
and she did say that that April 18th date for substitutions, that's cast in concrete, so no change will be permitted after that date.
It fills up quick.
It's in my report, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Jimmy, don't forget, a finance officer, do you have a report?
Yes, I do.
I know you do.
I'm gonna say. Okay, our opening balance in the savings account is $1,186,444.63. We made $1.60 in interest, leaving us a balance of $186,446.23. Our checking account, the opening balance is $4,114.59. I made a deposit for the Commander's project of $1,000. The SAL breakfast that was the final bill from what the Commander did was $59.32, and I received a check from the command to go to the Commander's project of $500. The total checks that I collected was $1,559.32, or just withdrew. I got a donation from Wharton Post for $1,000 to the Commander's project, leaving a closing balance in the checking account of $3,557.27. In the Commander's project as of tonight is $4,978.33. That's my report, Commander.
Thank you, sir. I have a motion on the floor to accept the finance.
Second.
Second, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? So moved. Service officers excused. Chaplain, do you have a report, sir?
Has anybody in here heard of Clifton has that tank pull
Yeah.
fundraiser? It's in June, so I happened to go by a meeting last week. And I was wondering if you'd give us some thought to maybe bring a check made out or to this tank pull. It's actually run by the Catholic Charities, Patterson, monitored by the Knights of Columbus. Their goal is $2 million and every penny goes into veterans. So it goes to the Veterans North, but it's completely 100% veterans. So some people never heard of it. I know a couple of guys that have their teams. It costs something like $500 to be a team to actually be a team. So they got to go out and collect $500 to give them so they can pull a tank. So it's something I just heard about. So rather than hit you with it now, if you can think about it, talk to your finance guys. And maybe bring a check made out to Catholic Charities at the next meeting. I can get them and I'll get them in their hands so they have it before the June tank pull.
I'll put out information on that on our webpage.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a flyer for it.
Yeah, I just totally forgot to bring the flyer tonight. It's a really nice flyer, one side and the information on the back. So that's why I said I'll just give you a heads up today. I'll bring the information next month and then they'll have it by June. So just something to think about that we can support
Mr. Murphy. One question, would you like to bring up a proposal on that tonight to make a motion to give the money?
Yeah, well, I figured all the posts that are here, nobody has a checkbook with them,
If
but
you want to do the post, that's totally all right, but I would make a suggestion that the county give money.
yeah.
He's got his checkbook with him.
Oh, I think, yeah, and I mean, anything, $100, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything fancy,
Well,
but could.
Has anybody ever gone to this? It's a monster. There's many people, there's 150 teams, you get a T-shirt, you get something to eat, there's a place to sit there. It's an all-day affair and it's a lot of fun.
All
And
right,
even if you go down, they'll put you on a team. You know, you just
If you can still walk.
I've never been to it, I just happen to hear about it.
I make a motion that we donate $100 towards. this.
Second. That'd be good, thank you very much, that'd be good, okay.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved.
And if any of the other posts, talk to your finance guys the next month,
Dominic will get the flyer out, and all the details, and
that's great.
Catholic Charities down there does do a lot, they do a lot for veterans. Thank you, Chaplain. Judge Advocate, do you have a report, sir? Historian, do you have a report, sir?
Nothing.
Committee reports. It's not officially a committee, but we're having a testimonial dinner. We kind of have a committee, which is made up of the SAL, of the auxiliary, myself and my wife.
Fine committee.
It's a fine committee. So the 17th of May is going to be our testimonial dinner at Post 155 in Whippany. The only change, the save the date flyer was, I believe, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. The Riders Convention, New Jersey Riders Convention, is the same day. It ends at 6. So I talked to Rayanne to see if we could move it to a start time of 5 o'clock to allow people who want to come up. Vice Commander Mike Smith and John Browse have expressed interest. So we're probably going to make it 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Would anybody here, which would be helpful, like to be on our committee, 1 or 2 people to assist with the preparation for the dinner? Once, twice.
What's involved?
Just organize. We have, thank you, PDC Libertor and 279 is going to do the food.
You're gonna have a master of ceremonies?
We're going to have a master of ceremonies, which is all part of this. We got the date, we got the time, we have the food,
Who's the MC?
and now we don't have that yet. That's all part of this. Why do you want to be the MC?
Not really.
Only if you get your hearing aids by then.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Who are you?
Going once, twice, anybody?
I'll give you.
All right,
Brian
thank you.
Brian was gonna be the MC.
Brian,
Bergen. Bergen, Bergen.
be an interesting MC.
He was the MC when Tom stepped down.
He was. All right. We're gonna move fast on that. I'll get more information out to you. The only change to that safety day is the time of 5 p.m. Any questions, comments? No? Awesome, thank you, Chaplain. Bills and correspondence.
Page.
Huh?
It's already up on the page.
Yeah, we're just,
Yeah.
once we get, we have the cost is gonna be about $25 a person, Mr. Weaver.
Well,
For the food,
that's something you already charge, you know, we talked about the food.
probably $30 a person.
Are you trying to make a profit on your part?
We gotta discuss that.
Yeah,
We'll discuss that.
We're gonna have it all out within a week with the price of the time.
Just so you know, the outgoing commander is paying for all of your dinners and drinks.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow, thank you.
Yeah,
Nice, Harold.
and by all of you, he means this table.
No, I mean all of you.
Thank you very
And
much.
just real quick, since we talked about the money we used for the SAL breakfast for the county, we got about 10 people interested in being officers for the SAL. So we're working on getting their information and continue with that. There'll probably be an official meeting after convention, because right now is not a good time, so probably July or August, but that's actually moving along well. Thank you. Bills and correspondence. Correspondence, sir.
We have a very nice thank you note from the department commander who was with us last month. And he appreciated the outpouring of support. He acknowledged to the county itself our donation to the department commander's project. And he appreciated our overall showing for his attendance at our meeting here last month. So thank you all. Thank you 423 again for your hospitality. Job well done.
Thank you, sir. No other bill, no other correspondence?
And bills.
No bills? Excellent. Uncovered the 10 o'clock ritual. We could please lower the lights.
Howard Fields, the flowers grow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below. We are dead, short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset's glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in hallowed fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you with failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though flowers grow in hallowed fields.
Rest in peace, ye heroes dead. The fight that ye so bravely led, we've taken up, and we will keep true faith with you, who sleep with each across to mark his bed. And flowers blowing overhead, where once his own lifeblood runs red. So let your sleep be sweet and deep in hallowed fields. Fear not that ye have died for naught. The torch ye threw to us we caught. 10 million hands will hold it high, and freedom's light will never die. We've learned the lesson that ye taught, ye heroes dead.
So shalt thou rest, and what if thou withdraw the silence from the living, and no friend take note of thy departure? All that breathe will share thy destiny. The gay will laugh when thou art gone, the solemn brood of care plot on, and each one, as before, will chase his favorite phantom. Yet all these shall leave their mirth and their employments, and shall come and make their bed with thee. As the long train of ages glides away, the sons of men, the youth in life's green spring, and he who goes in the full strength of years, matron and maid, the speechless babe, and the gray-headed man shall, one by one, be gathered to your side by those who in their turn shall follow them.
Wherefore it behooves us to bear in mind this admonition, to live, that when thy summons comes to join the numeral caravan, which moves to them as well, which each shall take his chamber in the silent halls of death. Go not like a quiet slave at night,
and courage to his dungeon, but sustained and suited by our faltering trust. Approach thy grave like one who wraps the drapery of his couch about him and lies down to pleasant dreams.
Our Heavenly Father, in His infinite wisdom, has transferred the following members to the newest species, most everlasting of the American Legion. Post 423, Bob McLaughlin, Ed Battaglia. Post 154, Ed Cooper. Post 344, Jeff Ott. Post 59, Anthony Stumpo. May their souls rest in peace, and may each of us take up the torch borne by our departed comrades who have gone to a greater glory. May we revere their memory by serving the sick and needy, and by our continued service to our Lord and great commander of us all, and for our community, state, and nation.
Cover. Hand salute. Bright lights. Welcome back. Old business. Dennis, you ready?
Yep.
Want me to?
You want me to read it?
We know what it is, we're just gonna.
Yeah. I'd like, well, Dave decided to use the money from the Legion to sponsor the All Veterans Memorials display. Okay, and we decided that we're going to be selling bricks for $200, 8x8 pavers to whoever wants to buy one. And whatever money is made from there will go towards the offset of $3,379. Now, she did make mention that 250 years in 2026, they're going to have a ceremony at the All Veterans Memorial. It's a POWMIA is going to be on 2025. So we want Morris County to be at the podium. And we want their name, and any other post that wants to buy a brick, you can let me know. An 8x8 brick can have 6 lines, 20 characters per line. And it's any post or any person can buy a brick. Okay? And every brick that we sell, the Morris County makes $110 towards the offset of their almost $3,379. So I make the motion that we do it, and we get this done before.
They're discussing, I'd spoken to Dennis and said, we keep going back and forth on this. Let's do it, let's make it the Morris County American Legion's area And we get the podium with that, right?
Yes, you get
And I
the
think-
podium.
I think certainly with the theme of the front of that, we dedicate the podium to the Vietnam veterans of Morris County. Second, all those in favor? Was there a question? I'm sorry.
Who's paying for all this? You.
The Commanders Project. Yay, nay, talk to me.
I'm a nay. I think it'd be too hard to sell all these bricks. How many have you sold so far?
What did you say there were $200?
They're $200 a
It
brick.
was originally $300, and I talked to him, I said, you're never gonna sell them at $300. Now he wants to do it at $200. I don't think you can sell them.
Well, she's already sold several bricks, and she had to return the money because there was nothing project going, so I'm sure we can sell bricks.
You've got to sell a lot of bricks to make up the $3,500 or something you're proposing here. I'm sorry, but you guys can do whatever you want. As a finance officer, I'm opposed to it.
Discussion?
Bring it up on the floor to the rest of the guys. Does anybody else have any objections?
And I think we're also looking at doing the 4x8 brick possibly, because that's what's in there now is 4x8 bricks. If you go there, which an individual
What?
might buy.
Dennis, how much was the outlay again?
The outlay is $3,379. If we went with the 4x8 bricks, they cost us $82, where the 8x8 bricks are only $90.
But what I'm trying to ask you is how many bricks do we have to sell to break even? And who's gonna sell them all?
We only make 100.
You gotta,
We gotta sell 300 bricks to break even, but
How much are we paying for the bricks? $85? If you
90
sell them,
smaller bricks, we pay 80,
hold on a second.
we pay
Sell
$82.
them, hold on a second. If you sell them at 200, regardless of what we pay, to equal 3,379, we'd only have to sell 17, almost 17 bricks. That's it. That's just to cover the outlay.
That math doesn't
That
jive.
math is,
3,379
We make
divided by
make
$200 is
$110.
16.895.
Yeah, but you got a cost function.
I know, but that's your break even point.
Not the gross dollars, it's the net dollars you're looking to get back.
How much, and then what are the bricks, $80?
10 is the.
90.
90.
90 now, or that changed from.
Well, the little one's 82, the big one's 90.
well,
Right.
About 30 bricks, 31 bricks.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think if we're going to do this, we have to look at this as partially funded by the Commanders Project. Say, we need to set a target, a reasonable target. I'll just take a wild guess and tell you that maybe we can sell 10 to posts that are strong and have. I'm not gonna commit them, but I'm willing to bet post 59 would probably put a $200 brick in. I'm gonna guess that post 43 will put a $200 brick in.
and other people can buy them. too.
$279. So if we were to get 10 posts, okay, that offsets part of the 3,500, and part of it, the remainder is just a write-off out of the Commanders Project cost. So the Commanders Project lays out the 3,500, doesn't get it all back, gets some back, but we know that in advance. I think that's how we have to approach this. Tom, do you agree?
I mean,
if we're gonna do it or not,
I agree, and like, if you don't sell the bricks, what I've seen is like blank bricks, right? So can you just buy the blank brick and put that in as a filler?
Yes.
And
And
then,
one point of order here, we took a vote to approve this, and we have one dissenting vote. We shouldn't have voted on this without further discussion, but we did have a motion to proceed. The motion was seconded and there was no disagreement. We now have an official agreement to proceed. Unless there's a motion to withdraw, We didn't have a
This-
vote.
this action- yes, we did.
Motion and a second.
He did say all opposed, all in favor. So we did have a vote on this.
No, we didn't.
No,
Yes,
we
I
didn't
heard him
vote.
say that.
No, we didn't.
No,
He
that
did
was
say
for
that, but
discussion.
he didn't say, does anybody object before the second motion went on the floor?
He's
That's
correct.
the reason why I immediately said, no, I'm opposed, just to say.
It's
There could have been discussion before the
It
fine.
should be in the minutes if you have it. When the vote went through or not, you should have any minutes.
Got it on the video.
We got it on the video.
Already. There's 10 posts here tonight. How many would be willing to buy a brick?
Well, I had already sold some to counties and whatever happened at that time, she returned all their checks.
Yeah.
Right,
I actually had 4 or 5 counties that gave us money.
Are we having a discussion or are we gonna continue on the motion? Because,
We,
Point of order,
Thank
if we
you.
could, following your procedure, if you're gonna continue, you might ask he who made the motion to withdraw, subject to further discussion, and then you clean the slate and you don't have any complications. It's up to you.
Who made the original motion?
I did.
I did.
Would you please withdraw the motion?
Oh, I just have a question.
before you have the question, you have to answer yes or no.
let's withdraw the motion. We can start over.
That's
or
exactly
suspend
right.
I'll
further.
withdraw the motion.
Okay.
Seconded.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Now we're gonna have a discussion.
Now we're back.
Okay, now, can I say something?
You may.
What Will brought up is a good idea. I will agree to what Will said, instead of the county paying for all of it, I would say let the part of it come out of the commander's budget.
Absolutely.
Well, that's where I wanted it to come out.
So
That's perfect.
I didn't word
I'm
it
gonna
properly.
bring up a motion that we buy the bricks and 50% of the money comes out of the commander's project, 50% comes out of the general fund for the bricks. At $200 a brick.
Discussion?
Is there a second to the motion?
You wanna put a dollar value on the brick, because if we sell whatever we can,
It's $200 a brick.
$200 for an 8x8 brick.
what's it cost us?
It costs
$90.
You're making $110 on every brick.
Yeah.
Jay's hand is up.
Jay, sorry.
So to me, and Jim's right, he's the financial guy and the guy who guides us along as an organization. But my other question is, after we talk about the fines, is this something worthwhile that we really want to do also? I mean, that's basically, to me, the question before we even talk about money. Is this something we really want to do? If we don't want to do it, then we don't want to do it. We don't have to worry about the money.
Okay, in Dennis's defense, if you've never been to the wall, you can't explain it, but if you've been to the wall, you would understand.
Which wall are we talking
The
about?
wall out in Mount Arlington.
Turkey.
No,
All Veterans Memorial.
It's definitely worth it.
Okay.
My biggest concern was to start with, I don't know if we can sell it, but if you do it this way, I'm in agreement.
I'll make a motion.
My thought on that is, we have our eyes open. We know we're not gonna raise the full amount by bricks. Just eyes open, we know that in advance.
But that's part of our dedication as far as using money towards a worthy
That's
cause.
my
And
point.
people could buy them for a family member, all the names here. I'm gonna buy one and put my uncle.
Can I suggest that we have a flyer to each post, so that each post, even if they're not present here tonight, has the opportunity to know what it's about and buy a brick, or maybe multiple bricks?
We're gonna do a whole packet so people can,
Has to.
we have one printed out, we just have to send it out.
Okay, I made a motion on the floor.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Wait a minute. Objections first. Before.
I thought we had discussion. Objections? No, I thought we had
No, you
discussion.
get a motion on the floor, then you get objections, then you get a second.
Objections.
Now go to seconds.
Thank you.
All in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved. I like discussions.
Huh?
I like discussion.
As long as no one has their fists out.
And I still think there's a podium, and I think because of the layout, that podium should be dedicated to the Morris County Vietnam veterans.
This is what we're talking about.
We're gonna be at the podium and every event that's run there, they're gonna see Morris County. And that's our whole idea.
That's a good idea. That's about it.
Jay, you can find it on the internet also. All Veterans Memorial has a site. It's amazing.
Any other old business to come before this meeting? What's that? Jay has the floor.
Where do we stand as far as the certificate of incorporation?
We're gonna go over that under, coming up.
Okay, thank you, Commander.
Good question, but I think it's coming up under new.
Coming up under the good religion.
Good religion. Thank you, Jay. I think that's it for old business. New business. We have a lot under new business.
As it is April, and I may be even a month late, we have to have elections in May. So our elected positions are commander, at this time, 5 vice commanders, and a treasurer, finance officer are our elected positions. So I'd like to open the floor up to nominations for those positions. Now, first off, let me just say, vice commander wise, let's do this way. I don't think, are there any nominations for finance officer other than our incumbent, Mr. Bolte, who would very much like to be replaced? He would like to retire.
I renominate the current finance officer.
No, my wife and I want to continue.
Okay, fair enough. The motion to close nominations?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved.
Okay, I'm gonna open nominations for vice commander, our current vice commanders, and I believe. Well, our current vice commanders are Mr. Connors, Mr. Akimov, Mr. Sable, Mr. Bruce Michael, and Brian Bergen. Okay, Brian Bergen is absent, but I believe he will stand for nomination again.
I believe you're
I
correct.
believe you would like to keep him in the position. Do you two gentlemen intend to remain?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Connors?
Being considered for another position.
Okay, so I would say that, Mr. Michaels, I believe you're under being consideration for another position. Okay, so I would say that we have 2 open positions for vice commanders at this time. Do we have any nominations? Hearing none, I move that I'd like to have a motion to close nominations at this time. We will have a chance to open nominations on the floor again at convention.
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So moved.
Now I'm going to open up the floor for nominations for county commander, which is traditionally done for 2 years, but we elect one. We do re-elect each year. So as Commander Marciano is term limited out, we will have a new county commander for next year. So let me open the floor for nominations for county commander.
Post 344 would like to nominate Paul Connors for the position of county commander.
Okay, we have Paul Connors has been seconded, et cetera.
Second.
There's been several seconds. Mr. Libator.
I'd like to nominate Russ Jenkins.
Russ Jenkins, okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second for Russ Jenkins, okay. And is there any other, we have any other nominations?
Post 249, nominate Bruce Michaels for commander.
Okay, so we have a nomination for Bruce Michaels. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, so we have a second. So we have 3 candidates. Are there any other candidates? Any other nominations? Can I have a motion to close nominations?
Second.
Okay. So we have.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
So I believe that finishes our nominations.
That does?
Community.
Oh, that's even another good of the
Our
Legion.
community salutes. That other good Legion?
Good of the Legion.
Okay,
County convention. Which kind of falls, obviously, the norm is to have a county convention and the testimonial dinner on the same day, I believe. Yes. So our county convention is scheduled for May 10th. And our testimonial dinner is May 17th. Would we like to try and move, that's Harold, I think Harold. We need the judge advocate for this. That's all right.
Well, yes.
We're discussing if we're gonna move the county convention to the same day as the testimonial dinner of May 17th. Is that something you'd like to do or have two separate days? Open for discussion.
Well, it's okay with me, I'll be cooking.
I don't think people go from one to the other.
I don't believe they do.
I don't think it matters.
Anybody, comments, questions, concerns?
I think we'd be better off keeping it consistent.
Where would it be,
That's another.
Russ, I'm sorry, you said in the back, I can't hear you.
Where would it be? Whippany, same place?
Well, that Whippany, I have to discuss with them if they'd allow us to have the convention there, which I believe they would, as long as, we clean up and they choose not to be involved.
Do I remember that each post gets one vote?
No, it's not, each member, each post, you mean,
Each post gets one vote for an officer, right?
no, it's proportional, just like,
You bring 9 people, you get 9 votes?
no. It'll be explained, it gets explained at the convention, but just like department convention, you get allocated so many potential votes, as long as you have people there. Okay, so it's based on how many members your post has, paid membership that we've paid per capita on. So it's not paid membership by a certain date as it is for department, but rather it's that we paid per capita on to the finance officer.
Are you looking that up right now? I think that the last time we made a mistake and it was 1 vote per post.
Nope.
No, it's one post, maybe 50 members.
So what I'll do before then is put out an email with the exact wording from the Constitution and bylaws. I'll copy it right out of here so that's clear. And then as normal, when we do the elections, DEC Kramer will give the exact instructions prior to that.
And just for knowledge that it was not number of posts, I want to say that when I ran for DEC the first time, I want to say the number of votes cast was something like 40. I didn't have all 40, but it was something on the order of 40 or 45. Something like that. It was a 2-person contest.
Do you want me to read it real quick? I did find it.
Go ahead.
So section 8, posts in Morris County shall be represented by 1 delegate, who shall be the post commander, and 1 additional delegate for every 50 paid up members or major fraction thereof. Provided, however, that no post shall have less than 2 delegates. The delegates from each post shall be based upon their paid membership from the preceding year's paid up membership. And I will make sure this is all put out in a timely manner so we have it for any questions prior to elections.
Just so everybody knows, every post has paid their per capita in rehab. So every post is entitled to vote.
So I believe, for example, post 423 is it, do you have more than 125 or less?
121.
121. So you would have 3 votes, 1 for the post commander plus 2 additional. As long as you bring 3 people to the convention, you would have 3 votes. As an example. Post 312 which right now is under suspension, but if they weren't, and they came, they could have as many as 2 votes. One for post commander and one for under 50.
A large, Pass County commander. You gotta vote a large.
Right, past county commanders also vote separately in addition to the,
That's gonna give you an
Strength.
extra vote.
yes.
And in the email, I'll make sure to indicate how many votes each post gets based on their membership. Was that your question, Bob?
That was it, thank you.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
May 10th is the day before Mother's Day. Could be a bad weekend.
Could be a bad weekend.
I think it's May 17th, isn't it?
No,
I think-
May 11th.
We still have the 10th up on the calendar. I just want to make sure it's not going to be.
May 11th.
Yeah.
Let's go to 17.
Let's just do the 17th.
Yeah, I got a question on that. If you do the 17th, you're not gonna do it at Whitney. Because Whitney's gonna be set up for the testimonial dinner. You're gonna, you're gonna have to find another post to have.
I mean, it's been a while since we've done this, so I'm open up to all and every suggestion.
I'd like to make
a motion that we use
I like that you downstairs, they have a room downstairs.
It's the biggest hall in the county. I made a motion that we use 279 because it's got the biggest hall in the county.
Yeah, we know that, but that's gonna be set up for the testimonial dinner, we know tablecloths and all that stuff.
You had the testimonial for Tom there.
We'll put that for 79. I don't have May 17th open.
No, we're having it, it's already said it with me, that's all. That's all arranged.
Otherwise, we have a testimonial dinner there.
Thoughts?
Just so you guys are aware, the testimonial dinner and the convention were never on the same day. They were always on separate days.
They were.
It was always, the convention was the second Tuesday in May.
So let's leave it as is, supposed to be the PDC Libitor?
If you move it to May 3rd, that's originally where the testimonial dinner was gonna be in Lincoln Park, because they had an open day. That day is still open.
For convention.
You could have the convention, if you wanted, on May 3rd. You can't have it attended in the morning, it's a Mother's Day weekend. What else you got? The 17th, you got your testimonial.
Discussion on May 3rd?
I still have that day open.
Could you get it together that quick?
That's up to the commander of the committee.
County convention is easy, it's just,
Yeah.
it's
You could
small
use us-
food and,
You could use us as a backup if he can't do it. We're open on May 3rd.
so let's make it May 3rd. Is there any questions on that? Comments, concerns?
And what are you doing on May 3rd?
County convention,
County convention, okay.
discussion? Motion,
I move that we do it on the 3rd.
I second.
second, all those in favor? All those opposed? So moved.
Where is it?
Are we doing Lincoln Park and then a backup of 423 if Lincoln Park can't do it? So we have a post and a backup. Thank you.
Give them an unfair.
All right, so the testimonial dinner, Commander,
Have another neutral post.
Oh, it's gonna be 279 open.
Commander,
You make my post a backup then.
the testimonial dinner is staying the same.
17th.
17th, sorry, yes.
Just so everybody's aware. Because I got 2 dates.
Post that does, there's not a candidate.
So we're just gonna. Point was brought up that makes sense, the backup post should not be the post of an individual running for an officer's position,
Commander's position.
commander's position. So I don't think we need a backup post, but you're free to make it 342. Cause everybody loves driving to Chester. There's no pancakes if you come that day.
You talk to me after that.
What were you on there? Was that new business?
That was.
Okay, my apologies. Okay. Is there any other new business come for this meeting? No. Good of the Legion. We'll start with Finance Officer Bolton.
Okay. I have a couple of things, gentlemen, and I'll make it short. Number one, as long as I have a finance officer, the post that every post that wants to give the food, wants to hold the food, the meeting at their post, they get $100. I'd like to propose, because of the price of food going up so much, that we make it $150 to each post. If they don't want the $150, it goes back to the commander's project, like it always has. It's not gonna cost us that much. It's gonna cost us another $50, 20. I just lost my train of thought.
$500. Yeah, how much?
60 times 10 times 10.
It's gonna cost us $500 more a year. Can I get a motion on the floor?
Motion.
That's reasonable.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All opposed?
No avocado.
All opposed? No. So moved.
Okay, now, I'm gonna try and make this easy for you, so please listen up. I've researched the process to create a nonprofit corporation with the goal of obtaining an EI number, employer identification number, so that the Morris County American Legion can invest in CDs, also in bonds if we want to. The cost is $75 to register. My wife and I have been working on this. The name of the corporation will be American Legion, Morris County, New Jersey. We've already researched that. The name is good. We're allowed to use that one. Following the instructions on the New Jersey governor website that leads us through the processing of creating a corporation. Besides the process now to get this in place before the summer break, we'll need the information from the officers, commander, vice commanders. My wife has taken the time tonight to go around to all the. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use the commander and the vice commanders that we already have in place now. They're not gonna ask for them, we hope, when we submit this, hopefully within a week. I don't know how long it's gonna take us to get it, but I'm gonna send a check in for $75. I'm not gonna ask for anybody to propose it on the floor because I'm the finance officer and I'm gonna approve it. And that's coming out of the general fund. Does anybody have any questions?
Vice Commander Dryden? Yeah, I just want to mention, I'm the president of the 501c3 at the state level. We have an entity called the New Jersey Veteran Assistance Association. We went through this process 3 years ago. First of all, if you're, I don't know why you're doing it for an investment account. You can be any entity. You don't have to be a 501c3. The whole purpose of us being a 501c3 at the state level is to receive charitable contributions from corporations and private entities. So that's two separate things, you know. I just want to
We're
mention
only
that.
looking at incorporation to get the employer's ID number.
Okay,
We're gonna stop there. We don't
Oh.
need the exemption.
I see.
We don't need the exemption.
Okay. And now, do we have a EIN for the committee? Right now?
That's what this
I thought the committee, okay.
I
yeah.
don't believe we have any EIN, sir.
Yeah, we may not have it. I was just gonna say, you know, just double.
No,
Okay.
we're only going.
All right, so you're not setting up a 501c3
Correct.
because that also, I was gonna say, involves the IRS. And you have to
That's-
submit a Form 1023 and submit a $400 fee. And then you're also under all these other compliance.
Right, that's huge.
What we're going for, Tom, what we're going for, Tom, is getting the certificate of incorporation.
Okay, I heard nonprofit 501c3,
No,
it's gonna be C19.
non-profit corporation.
nonprofit corporation.
It's a corporation that's non-profit.
God.
governance.
Okay, I understand. I got you now. Thank you.
Discussion is good.
Hang on.
That's a 501c19 when it's 75% veterans, and that's what you're doing to get the corporate fail. But your question before about changing officers, once a year you have to do an annual report, and when you do the annual report, you name your new officer. So who you put on there now doesn't matter. January 1st, you can change to the new office.
Right, and we're not going as far as the 501c19. Because we don't need.
No, that's it. That's federal. Yeah, I understand what you're doing. They're just doing it at the state level, and getting the EIN for tax purposes.
I never said that.
No, you didn't.
No. Anybody else have any questions? Like I said, my wife and I want to continue as the finance officer for you. My wife and I enjoyed doing this. Hopefully you guys enjoy what I've been doing. I haven't stolen a dime yet. You never know what's gonna
How
happen.
many years you been doing it, Jimmy?
This will be my 10th year going on.
You gotta get it right next time.
What's that?
Your wife.
The worst I've done with this account is I've taken money out to buy stamps.
And that's huge.
10 more years, you get a pension.
I have no desire to take any money from you gentlemen. I intend to try and be tight with the money like I just did with Dennis. If I don't want to spend the money, I'm gonna bring it up on the floor that it's not gonna be spent, and then you guys are gonna have to oppose me. And that's the way I will run my business, and I always have. Thank you, gentlemen. That's the end of my report.
Good job.
Graham, thank you. We appreciate everything you do. And the fact that you're staying another year makes me happy. And the next commander happy. The commander after him or her. Good of the Legion, real quick. I was at post 27 on Sunday for breakfast, trying to enjoy a nice day with my family. A member of the SAL, Legion Rider, went into cardiac arrest. Yeah. What happened after that's not important. The person went home 2 days ago.
Oh, good.
I bring it up because I was the one doing CPR on my friend, and they did not have a defibrillator. I asked for an AED, they did not have one. Luckily, we were in Dover, and it took them 5 minutes to get there, and they handed me the AED. I bring this up because actually, Dennis Study is looking into this in Bergen County to get American Legion post AEDs. So I'm starting to look into that. I know there's a grant, aedgrant.org. I know you got something good to say.
No, I mean, you guys, most of you may know the story or may not, but Harold raised money for AEDs for the police department in Lincoln Park in 2011 when he was Department Vice Commander. Department Commander. And he had a heart attack on Main Street in Lincoln Park on his way to Wildwood. And they had the defibrillator that he raised money for in their vehicle to save his life.
And they work. So I'm gonna start.
But we also have them in our post too.
A lot of posts have them and a lot don't. There is nothing mandated to say you have to have them. But I'll be working with who's ever commander next year. And again, I started talking to Dennis Duddy because he started something in Bergen County. And there's grants, so I'll start putting out information on that because Milton, the first aid squad in the fire department is not as close as the paid department in Dover or Morristown, which has a paid fire department. But yeah, that individual went home. I spoke to him yesterday. He's absolutely fine. And hopefully he'll be at their next breakfast.
Of course, we had it happen right where the POW chair is. In this room right here.
Oh.
And you remember, you guys remember, and we brought him back. And he lived another 5 years. Something like that.
Is that back when you were finance officer?
As a matter of fact, it was.
All right.
Something good had that happen.
Anything else good of the Legion? Sir.
I got one. I'm looking for a military times publication. I've reached out to numerous people here and my Vietnam buddies that I flew with in Vietnam. Nobody seems to have one. Does anybody here have access to any military times publication?
Army Times, Navy Times.
Army Times. Yes.
They're online. They're online.
Yeah.
You get the early, if you get the early bird, which you can sign up for, they're constantly
They're
posting articles from Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps College.
I've scoured their website and it's difficult to navigate. I haven't been able to find it yet.
Really?
Yeah,
Militarytimes.com.
yeah, I've been there.
Oh, but now
Extensively.
it's not user friendly.
Yeah, not at all. I couldn't find, I tried, well, my intention is to, I need to publicize our 25th gunship reunion in Florida in November. And the guy that was doing it before me, 90 years old, health issues, you know how that goes. So it fell on me, and I can't find a Military Times. It's the only place you could find out the details on how to submit an advertisement for your reunion. They want to know where to submit it, what information they want. And it's in the publication, but I can't find it on their
So
website.
publications are online. I've seen them before. I'll get with that.
Okay, I hope, because
Yeah, I'm on here too, and there's the newsletter, the early bird. So yeah, I think there's ways, you should, like you said, navigate.
they charge you for these things. I can't believe you can download it for free. They want it, if you want to download it, they'll probably, I'm willing to pay for it, right?
Military Times is published by Gannett Publishing, and they're gonna require a subscription. It's the same publisher that owns USA Today.
Okay,
Nothing is free.
okay, so let's just get over that hurdle. Supposing I'm just looking for a publication, so I don't have to go through a year subscription to get that information I need right now.
Check with, does your town have a good sized library?
Yeah, I got an email into them already.
Okay, the library usually has subscriptions to all these.
I'm waiting to hear back from them. If that's necessary, I'll run up there. So what I'm hearing is nobody here has a Military Times.
I read it online.
You can read it online. Then why do you need a subscription? Oh, you need a
No,
subscription?
you don't need a subscription for an ad, that's separate. If you wanna run an ad.
No, I'm talking about being able to read one,
Yeah,
so I can learn what I need to do to
I read it
submit.
for free. I get an email.
So he reads it for free, so you don't need a subscription.
It's free.
I don't think you.
I think Mr. Judge, he'll help you get the ad that you want to put in there.
Offline.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done. Thank you, Commander.
No, it's good, but he'll help you get the ad and show you. Vice Commander Dresden.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to,